Hi, it's Mitch from PickDawgz.com here with your free pick in the Florida State versus Georgia Tech college basketball matchup on Wednesday, January 3rd, 2024. Of course, if you like all the free picks we do at PickDawgz every day, you'll love our premium picks. Use the discount code PICK. You'll get 15% off. We also have the Dime Club and Sharp Trading Plays. These are meant for people who make big bets. If that's you, go ahead and text that number that you see on the screen. They're not available on the website. You got to text that number. But let's get to this one. Florida State taking on Georgia Tech. ACC college basketball action as we turn to conference play. It is that time of year. And Georgia Tech entering this one 8-3 straight up on the season, 1-1 straight up on the road. This is a Georgia Tech team that certainly is improved. It's a program that we've seen a lot of talent on the court in recent years. Just always seemed to be a year away, and it's like one of those things. Georgia Tech historically has had some great teams, but I'm just talking about in recent years. Speaking about recent years, Florida State the past 2 seasons really has taken a massive step back. Leonard Hamilton, known for growing, 7-footers on trees there in Tallahassee, but this team just has not been up to snuff in recent years. 6-6 coming into this game, just 4-3 at home and 2-5 against the number in those home games for the Noles. It's just not the same thing that's going on there, and whether the game has passed Hamilton by with all the changes that we've seen in college basketball, or if they just don't have the talent level that they have with past teams, well, that's to be decided. But when we look at the level of competition that they're playing here in Georgia Tech, probably up against it in a game that generally they haven't been up against it in. Georgia Tech coming off of a big loss against Nevada, losing 72-64, but prior to that, some nice wins, beating Penn State, losing to Georgia by 14 points, probably their worst loss of the season. That was coming off of that straight-up win over Duke and Mississippi State, two highly touted teams that are going to make runs in the NCAA tournament this year. They also have losses to Cincinnati, UMass. So basically, Georgia Tech is playing the who's who of college basketball. When we look at Florida State coming off of a loss against Lipscomb, and that pretty much sums it all up. And we saw them against SMU. They got run as a 4.5-point favorite at home in that one. Played against Carolina in an earlier ACC game, got busted up in that one. Their big win this season was the win against Colorado. That was in overtime. And one thing we know about Florida State, if you go to overtime against the Noles, you are going to lose. They have the longest winning streak in the history of overtime college basketball, and it's current right now. When we look at Georgia Tech, their offense isn't really much to speak of, and Florida State's defense, really not much to speak of here, but when you compare it up against Georgia Tech's offense, well, it's not much. But the story in this game is the Georgia Tech defense. They are absolutely suffocating. Teams shooting just 28.7% from beyond the arc. That is 26th best in the nation. Team shooting just 40.4% from the floor. I just don't see how the Noles get through this. I'm going to take Georgia Tech. Get the points on the road. That's going to be my free pick. Of course, while you're doing your picks, putting your bets in, use our free betting tools at sportschatplace.com. They're 100% free, and they'll help put you on the most favorable bets on the board today.